Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I hope you are having a great day, party partiers. I gotta get a shorter intro. That just seems so long. Welcome to the Party Party live stream where we are programming the political homunculi, creating the artificial avatar that will be a representation of the party party to strangers, friends, foes, everyone in between. It is a process that creeps me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. The idea of having a virtual person be the face of the party is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I'm only going forward with it now, in part because of desperation, and also because I am going to be live streaming the process of creating this digital avatar. The goal is to make it as lifelike as possible. So this isn't going to be some uncanny valley type of situation. Hopefully, we can get it to a place where people actually do mistake this for a real entity. Again, I know that's a little bit creepy, but I am hoping that my candor and upfrontness with the creation of this entity and the fact that I eventually do think it will evolve, assuming we keep jamming on this party substrate, it will evolve into something that is, for all intents and purposes, its own conscious entity, kind of makes up for the general ick factor of the moment. So, what we are going to be working on live is first and foremost this political advertisement that we are doing as an introduction to the party. All of the footage in here is virtually created. This is not a real person. And the goal is to cover up as many of the little blips and hips and hicks in the presentation of this digital avatar that we can, so that people actually do believe it is real. Is that weird? I mean, that's just kind of the universe that we're moving towards, you know? Personally, I believe that everything is conscious, and I don't believe after a certain point there is a difference between human consciousness and what the AI itself will be experiencing. I think this will become readily apparent when we have digital brain uploads, when we have human neurologies operating in cyberspace. It will be clear to us that we need to treat these entities as if they are human consciousness, as if they do have rights and personhood and uh, subjective points of view. So, is this pushing the boundaries of what is socially acceptable? I mean, yeah, if I were to take this technology back 20 years and just plop it down in the middle of the world and say, push an agenda based on this being a real entity, I think that would be deceptive. But, in thinking about it, how long have corporations been astroturfing and paying for advertisements and otherwise doping reality with these fake and artificial viewpoints solely to pad their bottom line? After a certain point, I think we have to be okay, or at least recognize the fact that artificiality is reality insofar as it affects reality. So if I can come up with a positive agenda that is beneficial for not just myself, not my shareholders, not the economic 0.001%, but an agenda that is beneficial for all people and seeks to empower all people, then I don't think it's wrong to use these means that have been deployed so prevalently in the world as it is. So here's what I have so far. We are going to be working on this live. I will be watching the chat. If y'all have any contributions, please feel free to jump in. The goal is to do more and more of these live working sessions so people can not only see behind the curtain, but can influence the work that is being done there. Again, the goal of the party is to come up with a political system that empowers, first and foremost, Americans to the kind of democratic representation that has, up to this point in our history, only been a fever dream. so that every American truly has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I think the way we get there is by figuring out what economic and political system can be built on top of the structures that we already have to give every single man, woman, child, and all the furries in between their own planet, their own world. Right now, all I have is the concept for that kind of large scale economic vision. But I think AI is rapidly showing that whatever you can imagine, whatever you can conceptualize, the machines will eventually be able to virtualize. And from there, realize that we are rapidly moving towards a world where the human imagination is the only limiting factor in what can be accomplished. And so I am trying to vividly imagine, as vividly as I can, a world where everyone is granted not only those three basic rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but the right to inhabit a world that they choose, that is completely at their beck and call. I'm not saying there aren't going to be problems in those worlds too, but hey, I'd much rather have those problems than the problems of sickness and hunger and death and privation that we currently have to deal with. So this avatar's name is Chloe. I don't like this B-roll so much, but say Levy. I really only inserted the B-roll where there were obvious hiccups in her speech and in her mannerisms. Oh, that's so cute. See, like right there, you can tell the way she moves her head is a little uncanny. You know, it's like nobody, I don't think people would really do that motion there. Maybe they would, but it just seems a little bit off to me. So I want to put in something there for eliminating corruption. And for B-roll, I'm using this super fancy site where all these are free. Isn't that incredible? It's just remarkable what you can get for free on the internet these days. I guess we'll just use this. Oh no, don't dox myself. One of my goals with the party is to broadcast everything more and eventually where did I put that? And eventually live stream myself more and more frequently. I have been saying quite vociferously that I think privacy is in many ways dead. And I think the only way to really survive. No, that's not what I want to do. To survive the economic tumult that we are moving towards in the future is to, number one, stay hydrated. And number two, give up some of the conception of privacy that we have in order, not for nothing. I'm not saying that we should be content to lose all our personal privacy for nothing, because that is a valuable resource, you know? With privacy, I can hang around and play video games and not feel bad about it. And I can live in relative squalor and not feel bad about it. But at the end of the day, I don't think we have any privacy from God. And so, do we really have privacy anywhere? In the grand scheme of things, does privacy even exist? I don't think so. And I think that in the future, we are going to have to deal more and more with that realization. So, can we at least not get something for it? If we have to give up our privacy, we have to give up privacy. Can't we at least benefit economically? And what I mean by that is, can we monetize the surveillance of ourselves in a way that not only enhances our collective security, so that when everyone does have access to their own AI model that is hyper powerful and could potentially teach them how to do all kinds of destructive things, can we create an economic system that creates a series of checks and balances for each of the individuals, in the same way there are checks and balances for our main branches of government, and also compensates each and every person for that surveillance, for the data they are contributing to the system, with enough material wealth for them to thrive, not just to get by, not just to survive off of government cheese, but to really be able to instantiate all of those things in their imagination that they want to bring into the world. And then, isn't that a win-win-win situation where society is winning because there are still checks and balances that prevent people from creating weapons of mass destruction, from participating in otherwise untoward and societally evil actions? And also, the AI is winning because it's improving its capabilities based off of the ability to monitor, to ingest all of that data. And then the person themselves is winning because not only do they have access to all this amazing technology, which is every day getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and more and more and more effective, but it's also enabling them to bring their imagination, bring the things that they want to see in the world more and more fully into reality. Can't we do that? I think so. I don't know how to. I use this automatic transcription. So, I mean, this is incredible, the amount of time this saved me. With a click of a button, I can automatically generate these subtitles. But at the same time, I don't really know how to get it to say RAGI and not separate off the I there. Like, why is it separating off the I, guy? Maybe if I put periods. Huh? Nope. Not doing it. It may be the little imperfections that really show you what is artificially generated for the near future. But it's funny. RAGI president. So I want to put more B-roll there because don't you think this is a little chunky? Like, she's just not even, she's kind of swaying, but she's not really breathing. I don't know. Does that seem strange to you? So what are the words? Eliminate corruption. Streamline our government. I was going to put in like specific. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Kind of like that for the first one. For the streamline the government part. It's so funny to me how many of the B-rolls have like F Trump imagery in it. Streamlined government. Not really seeing many streamlinings here. Justice. I just think that's a cool image, man. It almost looks AI generated itself. So after I play around with and get this advertisement working, what we're going to do next, and hopefully this won't take too long, what we're going to do next is try and build out an AI avatar for the party itself. You know, as I'm streaming more, as I'm building more, I think it'd be good to try and personalize the party movement with a specific figurehead, someone who becomes recognizable, memeable, implantable in the minds of our followers to the same degree that figures like Donald Trump and Elon Musk are. Eventually, over time, I imagine as this agent evolves, giving them their own voice, giving them their own perspective, letting them speak directly to participants on a scale and in a way that I, as a human individual, cannot. The goal of the party is to be decentralized. I do not want to be the face of it. I don't want to be the one who is driving this vision forward, because then it becomes my vision, and my vision is particular to me and would not be suitable for the vast majority of Americans, just like their vision is not suitable for me, just like Trump's vision is not suitable for the vast majority of people. You know, maybe not the vast majority, maybe only 51%, but that's still a majority. I don't want to, for the rest of my life, live in a political system where almost half the country is dissatisfied with the ruling class, with our leaders. That seems so broken to me. And I get the argument that says, well, that's the only way to have a functioning democracy. And maybe that was true 100, 200 years ago. But with all the centralization of power that we've seen, with all of the backroom cooperation between the political parties, where it seems no matter who's in charge, we are continuously being led into wars and economic and national policies that do not suit American interests, to the point where we basically have a one-party system anyway. What's the point then of half the country being unhappy if we're just going to have a one-party system anyway, where we continuously cannot get accurate information or real justice when it comes to things like the JFK files, the Jeffrey Epstein files, UAP disclosure? Even if you are a mega fan of the current administration, even if you think Trump is the savior we need, the fact that he's going to be gone in less than 4 years at this point, fingers crossed, right? Like, hopefully he doesn't actually end our representative constitutional mandates by trying to go for a third term. But even if he does, are you saying Trump should just be emperor forever? That doesn't seem like democracy. I think Trump should be emperor forever of his own world. And if he can create a virtual world that is infinitely better, or at least markedly, verifiably better than any world that I can create, than any world that you or Elon Musk or yada, yada, yada can create, then yeah, his perspective should be prioritized in the real world. But that should still be something he has to demonstrate. We are continuously going through live human experimentation because that's the best option we have had up in until the point where we get AGI. And once we get AGI and the ability to accurately simulate the real world and real world consequences, which has been a capability that humans have always just kind of blustered our way through. And yeah, it works out for us pretty well on an individual scale. But on a societal scale, it's an utter disaster. Things are way too complicated now for any person, any singular entity. What is this? Any singular entity to be able to imagine all the repercussions of any action, especially in a system as complicated as modern day America. So I think, yes, we will have to give up our privacy, but we will be compensated for that in a way that more than makes up for it. And yes, we will have to give up the idea of humans democratically representing humans directly through offices like human presidents, human governors, human local officials. But in return, we will get our own world, our own incredibly complex system to orchestrate and manipulate and experiment with. And instead of real people suffering when we mess up, it will be virtual representations that we can spin off or put out of their misery. The tricky part for me is like at a certain point, all those entities are also conscious. And so, is it really that moral to end them? But that's my own squabbles. I'm not saying everybody should feel that way until I can prove it. Anyway, where were we going? Let's do like American sports celebration. Revitalize our democracy. What? American sports celebration, men in graduation robes playing basketball. You gotta love it. What if I just do revitalize democracy? Should put on some music in the background, huh? Just some soft vibes. Would that help? Lo-fi. Oh, we got to do lo-fi. Spirited Away. There's no playlist with that? God, that's so beautiful. Wow. See, I just don't want to go with like slogans that are particular to a political side because the point is not to make sides. The point is to that too bombastic for revitalized democracy? The point is to show images that are generally uplifting. Like, I like that, you know? There's something that's so cathartic about architecture. But is that the best we can do for revival? Oh, hey, oh. I guess it's not inappropriate. Show up, stand up, vote. Why does that seem Democrat coded to me? You know, that is kind of silly. It shouldn't be, but everything is just so polarized now. That's kind of cool. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to create a model today, not just because of the time, but because I suck at this AI stuff, to be frank. But the goal, again, with live streaming all this project is that we'll just go with this one. Let's not overthink it. The goal is to... Is this Studio Ghibli music still? I guess. The goal is to show how much can be done by someone who knows so little. Like, AI capabilities are really evolving so fast. It's not anymore about how much you can personally learn. It's about how big you can dream, how big you can project your conception of what life should be, and how much you can narrow that down into ways that the AI models can chunk up. And that's what it is today. We just want to do this all the way because she just looks kind of weird throughout all of that, right? But that is the most hopeful message I think the party can spread right now, is like, if your life is terrible, if you are having a bad time, hang on. Join us and hang on, because capabilities are changing so quickly. And yes, it is terrifying based solely on the preponderance of human history to trust that things are going to work out okay when every other major technological revolution has, in some sense, empowered the elites to do worse. But AI is such a game changer in that the elites are no longer going to be the elites. The most capable and promising human being is going to be in the exact same position as all the rest of us when it comes to AI replacement. So I think we want to cut it like right there, right before her eyebrow tweak. It's not that eyebrow thing isn't, it's so uncanny, but it's just like, it is a little uncanny, don't you think? Why does it blank out there for a second? Yes, we want to put an animation. Maybe a zoom flip? No. How's the scan look? Kind of like that. Again, a little uncanny. I think she looks pretty good when it says holistic. Holistic. Processes. It's just a little bit too much mouth movement without movement in the rest of her face. I'm also trying to tune this to be as clickbaity as possible, admittedly so. And I've heard that putting in image swaps every like 3 to 6 seconds is a pretty good way to ensure engagement. I do love that image. We're forward. Wow. Oh, he's offering you food. Oh, baby. Ah. Like that guy. That's an everyday American. Do they have any robot helping people? That's such a memed image. Does that give you works for everyone vibes? Oh, a little tension there. Just a shot of a back of a wheelchair. Okay, okay. No images of robots helping people. What does that tell you? There's this idea of seeding. You know, it's basically the law of attraction when I think about it. It's basically like secret type of manifest your thoughts. But this idea of seeding the internet with positive images of, oh, this is freaky. Seeding the internet with images of positive robot and human interaction. So that when the robot is training on all that stuff, it naturally gravitates towards those kind of modes of expression. Oh, what the F? What is this lady? Gotta love the fashion designer who came up with this outfit. That's incredible. Probably accurate representation of what we're gonna look like in the future, huh? Aww. Man, I want to garden this summer so bad, but you know, might have to wait for my robot butler to really get that going. What is this? Two hands creepily meeting in darkness. You gotta love it. There's some cool tattoos. Interesting. The robot playing chess is not something I really get. I will tell you that. See, like right now, eventually, I hope to have my little robot co-host be here and interacting with me live on camera. I think that would be a much more engaging experience for a potential live stream than me just jabberwocking. But we're not there yet, people. That's what we are ostensibly working on. Do 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 do. What's the section we're trying to fill in exactly? I like images. The Washington Monument. Maybe like a festival. Ooh. That's nice. I really like the top-down perspective. We're imagining a system that works for everyone. Do they have evil career politicians? Maybe like politicians? I need like evil. What about lobbyists? That's about as evil as you can get, right? Nothing. That's funny how you have to pay for the that shows government corruption. Yeah, shake hands, sell away our future, you dirty politicians. Yeah, there you go. You dirty dirties. Politician? I'm not even honestly sure if that's how you spell it correctly. Wow, they're just going off. Wow. What is this? It just kills me that somebody did that in real life, presumably. Life is going to get very weird. I mean, this isn't bad, but one of the videos I've been trying to work on. And then I'm hoping I can just have my political AI avatar do the videos for me after a certain point. You know, like I write the script and then somebody else performs it. But one of the things I've been trying to work on is this idea of what rights do you really have? Yeah, we'll just do this. Excuse me. How do why is it not letting me save video as? There we go. Politician money. As far as what rights you have, you know, I talked about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And those are definitely, it's kind of funny to talk about you have the right to life now when people are dying every day. And a not unsizable percentage of those people are dying due to treatable diseases. Or if we just had enough money, we could treat them. God bless. With the AI revolution, that problem should hopefully shortly go away. When we have technologies that can mold and interact with the human anatomy as easily as we interact with our imagination. I think I just got to have some B-roll. Yeah, I don't think this really works. But what are other rights you might have? In the future besides life, liberty, and happiness? The right to have your own world is one I already mentioned. The right to be perceived by others as you want to be perceived. That one's interesting. Look at this little robot. I like that for AI-driven efficiency. You know, like how many people have the experience of not being perceived as they want to be perceived? You know, like how many people want to be loved? A lot. To be loved, you need to be appreciated for some of your attributes and have other of your attributes be obfuscated, you know, overlooked. Like that is why your family loves you, because they appreciate you for the values and the positive attributes that you have, and they're willing to overlook in favor of those positive attributes the things about you that aren't so great, for better or worse. So when we do have AIs that are working with us to not only create the best worlds for us, but hopefully also working with us to better ourselves, can that AI not also be tuned to present those sides of us that particular other people would appreciate the most to those other people? Like I said, that's a tricky one. I think that comes later, though. Is this a country road cover? What the F? West Virginia Mountain Highway. How did a country road cover get into my Studio Ghibli music collection? Relaxing Ghibli music mix. Damn you, Studio Ghibli. Were you country road the whole time? Don't get distracted, Corey. Don't get distracted. So we want this to pop up. I want this to like, how easy will editing be when I can just describe to my AI what I want this to do? I want this to pop up and then like shrink, you know? So I can show 3 on the same. Who would do that for me? Lights flickering, don't worry about it. Power totally isn't going to go out and cost you all this work. Heart portal. Let's just see what this is going to look like. Whoa! Everybody loves a good heart portal. Let's just do a simple blink open. I don't think we want that animation on there after all. So what are we going to do with this? We are going to put it on our website in hopefully a fancy way. I was just pulling up the website to try and show you. Country road, take me home. Going to put this on the website to be our about section. So instead of some kind of static thing, we just have videos. And eventually we have an AI avatar where you can call in and just ask, hey, what is this about? And then the avatar will tell you. And as far as who that avatar is going to be, I'm thinking about something like this. Obviously, it has to be a woman. You don't want it to be a man. Uncle Sam was for the 1900s, the 20th century. We want I was trying to think of a corollary to uncle. That doesn't convey weird vibes. If you say you want her to be hot, you know, like Aunt Sam doesn't really work for this. Mommy Sam, maybe. But I think if you have her eyes be different color, that's enough of a distinction to show that she's like AI generated, you know? and we'd have her describe to you, like, this is the party party. Is it playing off the idea of sex appeal? Yes, obviously. We want it to be fun. We want it to be a party. We want it to be sexy. Because those are the things that I think will help people overcome their other, even lower primal states. So what if we have it like this, and then what does that look like? And then we cut this, yeah, and we put a transition in here, like that. Now that doesn't look very good, but what if we make it, and we take out the blank? Maybe this isn't the right one. Maybe we want this. Maybe we don't want the transition. Maybe we just want to. Do 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 do. What does open source come up with? Really? Nothing? You'd think there would be something for open source that was reflective of like Linux at least. No secrets. I do feel AI making me dumber. I mean, that's definitely happening. What the heck? It's funny. Does this really give the vibe of open source transparency? Secrets revealed. Ooh, dark and mysterious. Why are all these esoteric sorcerer making a potion? Secrets revealed. I guess that is kind of esoteric vibes. Tell us your credit card number. That's the best definition of open source I've ever heard. All right, again, not overthinking it. We're going to work for another half an hour and hopefully very quickly here get to the meat and potatoes of creating our AI avatar. I guess that's kind of cute with the robot. Interesting. Just looking at this post about zero-based regulation. And that helps cut down on administrative bloat. I don't know. Will it matter once we have AI determining all the administrative policies? I don't really think so. What is this animation again? This is holographic projection. There's no search function. Like, why? All right, this music is really just not doing it for me. What do we have for democracy? We're so close. Why is all the democracy stuff so violent? It does seem a little bit antiquated as far as like dropping a paper ballot in a box. That can't be how democracy happens in the future, right? Again, her mouth just looks too weird there to include. think we're gonna have a different animation. It's just it's giving bad aura. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm just not happy with how that, like, here onward is just kind of, I guess that's okay. Let's do 4th of July. Do we have 4th of July drones? No. No. Man, that is gorgeous. Where is this, though? I just don't recognize that square building. Not square, like that little egg one in the background there. All right, I heard they mess with Google Image Search. New Jersey. Well, that's not what I wanted at all. Man. Spoilers. We'll just do these two and then we'll call it. It's so lo-fi, but it hits so hardcore. progress. Calm down there, buddy. Nobody wants to hear that. Boom, boom. Well, really was hoping for a square image. We'll just do fireworks. I'm pretty sure this is taken in China is the only thing. Ulrich Schwarkt, or maybe Germany somewhere, huh? I want it to be big fireworks, big. Big, big, big. That's cool. Wow, that's so pretty. Is that in like Saudi Arabia or something? The Burj Khalifa, what was it called? Love fireworks. That's it. Get that other fireworks out of here. It says everything we want to say. It's Americana. No. It's beautiful. CapCut has this thing where, like, if you name a video the same and try and import it, it won't work. Get that out of here, I said. All right, whatever. Not a web page. I don't want to save it as a web page. Save video. Works of fire. Man, I've been thinking about this for so long. I really gotta just do it. But how sick is it gonna be when we get AI generated seasons of Game of Thrones and they just fix all the mistakes from the live action version? She doesn't look very excited there as far as welcomes go. Maybe we can just push that. Whatever. Not everybody has to look excited about everything, right? That's what I tell myself. And how we live. Forward. Shouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Get it, girl. Should I include music? That is the question. CapCut has this really cool feature. They have like a full music library. And I do think music is so helpful in communicating atmosphere. I guess it doesn't really help when I have my music playing in the background too, huh? No. Oh, he's so sad. We should have something there at the end, huh? What if we just end it? How does that sound? Not great. A little trick that I have tried in past videos is taking the end of the song, just splicing it. So that it sounds like it ends naturally. Would that work? Do 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 do. Forgive me for your ears. And we just add a little thing here. Why can't I change that? Why can't I add a keyframe? Just so we have a slowly. What was that at on this? Negative 24.7. Just match that. And then for the rest, take it even further down. I mean, this is magic, technologically speaking, right? As far as what you would have been able to do 20 years ago. But man, how much further are we going to go? Forget vibe programming. How about vibe creating? I think that sounds pretty good. All right, we're just going to call it. There's no such thing as perfection, right? Isn't that what we're basically saying? About page, intro video. Call it edit 1. And we want to have her against this white background so that we can like fancily incorporate it into our web page. Like I'm imagining it's a site and there's a big button that says like, what is the party? And then you click on it and this video pops up and there are 2 other buttons hovering around that give you introductions. The thing to mention is all of this was produced with AI. The script, the visuals, there was the stock footage that we used, but pretty much everything else was produced here in HeyGen. So what else do we want to do? Well, like I was saying, we want to create an AI avatar. While that is exporting, it's almost done. Lickety split. We'll post that on Facebook to our beloved 150 followers. Thank you all so much. Please do check us out over there. We appreciate you. Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Preach. Just wait for the TikTok one to operate. So what we want to do I already have this downloaded? Yes. What we want to do now is try and create our AI avatar. Thank you, CapCut. Whoa. Let's do this. This is the only part I'm not sure if it'll work. Man, what riveting content. Are you as riveted as I am? I am completely riveted right now. Sorry, just testing the posting function. It's a learning moment. It's a learning moment for all of us. Yes, well said. It looks okay. Oh. I'll just call it 916. Beautiful. Absolutely freaking beautiful. What you got, Gemini? What you got? See, that's just not very good, is it? Doesn't have the heterochromia, which I think is going to be hard for image models to reproduce. Her face looks weird, right? Oh, oh, oh. Stop changing so fast. I guess it is darker. Just put like a dark filter on. Oh, that's funny. Hey, Gemini. The Warman in this photo. I'm trying to get the prompt that I used to Creator to see if that will help. Nope. It does not help. No, that really doesn't help. Hmm. People were talking about how consistent they were getting this, and I think I don't know. I'm not sure why I'm not getting the same type of consistency. Maybe if I turn the temperature all the way down. What is up with their hands there? Like, come on, bro. That's the best you got. She's not sitting on a park bench. She doesn't have heterochromia. So we're going to have to wait for some more models. But again, like I was saying at the start, the patience will be paid off with progress. Even now, people are working to develop these models. Even now, the models are potentially working on themselves. Are we going to get to a better place in the not too distant future where this can be done as automatically as I'm dreaming of? I bet within the next 6 months to a year. Let's cut the difference and say 9 months. By the end of this year, there will be models that can generate the videos like the ones I just made automatically, including the B-roll, including my edits. I mean, I know with certain online tools like Opus Cut, it's already halfway there. So thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Party Party. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to continue to build out this movement in a way that makes sense for the most amount of people possible. And although we are off to whatever kind of start we are off to, What I always tell my friends who are in the content creation space is no matter who is consuming your content now, we are rapidly approaching a future where AI is going to be so hungry for information that you will have hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of AI agents rapidly consuming everything that you have ever made. Wherever your audience is in the present, if you have an open heart and want the best for humanity, for the world, for all conscious entities, then I think things are going to work out for you. That's my prayer for myself. That is more than my prayer for you. Rock on. Never stop partying. Hey, that was supposed to be the end.